String manipulation basically जो है वो string manipulation is basically dealing with all those variables which are of a string data type. Means the data that we enter is in the form of characters which are combined as a string, and a string is saving all those characters in one character per byte format, one character per byte format. Okay, one character per byte format. So let's say that if I have saved this Zafar Ali Khan in X. So Zafar Ali Khan is the literal, which is a string, and X is the variable which is of a string data type. X is equal to Zafar Ali Khan. Now, when we judge this Zafar Ali Khan, we will see that these are 14 characters. Z is first character, A is second character, F is third character, then fourth character, then fifth character, and then sixth character, which is a space. So whatever that you put between two quotation marks is basically a character each. Every single character, no matter it appears to you as a character or it does not, if it is in between double quotations, then it is a character. The combination of all those characters between the quotations is a string, and we can perform so many functions. These are the few functions which I have extracted from past papers and related stuff which we need to understand in order to go forward with this string manipulation thing. And remember, for string manipulation practices, we will be using Visual Basic, but in exam, you will be writing pseudocodes. So the first function which is applied is length function. Basically, this is function application. This is its output. And this is, since it is a function and we know that function returns the value, the type of the output. That function tells every function when it gives output, basically there is a type of that output. So you have to remember the type of the output so that whatever the variable in which you are receiving the output of that function should have the same type as per the expected output type of the function. Okay, so that is absolutely necessary. So length is a function which is applied over x. X has this value. This value might vary because x is a variable. So what is the size in length? Length means every single character including spaces and all. That is 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this length function counts the number of characters in a string of whatever type characters and gives the output as an integer. Okay, so this A has to be what? Integer. Otherwise, there will be a program error while the program was being executed. Then left function. These three functions, left, then right, and then mid, they are called These three functions, left, mid, and right, are basically called extraction. These are called extractions. Okay, left, mid, and right. What basically happens that this left function from the first argument x finds 5 characters from the left side. From this variable x, it finds 5 characters from the left side. So these two arguments are basically open, they are flexible. The first argument says that which variable, and the second argument says that how many characters from the left we have to pick. So from the left, there are 5 characters that will be extracted and will be assigned to B. So the output of this function will be Zafar only. And since we are extracting from a string, and whatever the result, that would still be string. Same happens with right. Now every single function of all these except this right function counts the digits in this string, count the characters in this string from the right side. So right function does not count this way. All of the rest functions are called this way. Okay, so from right, if it says that from the right of the x find 4 characters, it will start counting them 1, 2, 3, 4. But it will present them the way they are in the string, means from left to right. Okay, so the right function will extract 4 characters from the right of the string and present them as they appear in that particular string from left to right, and the output is a string. So 2 arguments. Now the mid function. Mid function has got 3 arguments. First argument is the name of the variable from which we have to extract the data. Start from the 7th character. So 7th character is this. And pick 3 characters. This is the start and this is how many characters we have to pick. So start is included. So 7, 8, 9, 3 characters we have picked, and this will be the output. And the type of the output will be string. Remember, we are going to make use of these 3 extractions a lot more than any other function. Then we have got searching. Searching patterns. All right. So this is not in a string. In a string is in Visual Basic. So let's call that locate. What locate does in Visual Basic, this locate is in a string, by the way. What locate does, it locates for this pattern or character or whatever string in this particular variable. It locates for this second argument in first argument. It locates for the second string in first string. It locates for this character in first string, whatever. Whatever the first string that you give, the second string will be found. It might be patterns. So let's say it says that find space. So it will start finding space from the left, and it will find space where? At 6th location. So the output of locate is integer, which is 6, and this E has to be type of integer. There are 2 variations of this locate command or search command. Sometimes it is called a different one. So example tell, every P2 would have a list of all string manipulation, pseudocode commands at the end of the paper. So whatever the question they ask, the support will be at the end of the paper. So this particular X is basically the variable that we have over here. We have to look for this space. Now people say that what if we like to locate for the next space or another space but the first one? In that case, you would have to use the second variation. Second variation has got three arguments. The first argument is to start from where? If you miss out that argument, system will start from the first character. But if you give it, then system will start from that particular character. So what I have done, I have 6 in E. So I have started from 7, E plus 1. So from 7, it will locate for another space and it will find that space at 10th location. You might give it the way you like. You might ask it to start from 8. So it will start from 8 and checks and then tells it is at 10. So it's up to you. How would you like it to be? So with 2 arguments, system looks for the second argument into first, and with 3 arguments, system will look for the second argument in the third argument in the second one, but it will be starting from this particular location. Then comes ASCII. ASCII basically gives the ASCII value of the glyph or the character that you give as argument to the function. I told you earlier that ASCII is a table which represents all the characters which we use for text and saves all the characters with their respective standardized numbers. So the combination of all characters, their appearance in series and their respective numbers is called what? ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. That is standardized all over the world with all the machines. That is why no matter which hardware we are using, we are making use of these characters, since every operating system on all type of hardware recognize these. And the combination of these ASCII characters is called a string or text. So whatever the glyph, the character that you give, ASCII function will find its related ASCII number and then assigns that outputs it, and then it will be assigned to the variable. So this G has to be of type integer. This CHR does vice versa, inverse of ASCII function. What basically happens that whatever the ASCII that you give to character function, it will actually find the related glyph or character and will output it. So this H is basically character type. So the output of this character function is a character. So the value which is being returned by this function has to be caught in a variable which is of character data type. Then comes concatenation. This is called concatenation. Concatenation means to put 2 strings together to find the third one. Concatenation means to put 2 strings together to find the third one. So this symbol, the symbol is called ampersand, AMPERSAND, and sign. This symbol, which is we use for and sign at most, is ampersand, and this is used to merge multiple strings together and to create one single string, which is then assigned to the variable. So the value of B, which is Zafar, with a space, and the value of C, which is Khan, will become a single string, Zafar space Khan, and will be assigned to I. The value of I would be what? Zafar Khan, and the output type will be string. So concatenation merges two strings and put them together. Sometimes we use plus signs. So that is absolutely fine to use plus sign. All right, so in pseudocode you can use plus signs, but in Visual Basic you would have to make sure that we are using ampersand signs. Okay, so there might be occasions in past papers when you see that plus sign is being used for merging only when it is pseudocode. Then comes string and value. These two are basically casting. What is casting? Casting is basically turning one data type into another. Turning one data type into another. What basically happens that if it is an integer is saved in a different way and a character is saved in a different way and a string is saved in a different way. Apparently they look the same, but if let's say if it is 34, we would have 1 on second bit and fifth bit. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So we would have the bit which has 32 worth 1 and the bit that has 2 worth 1. All right. If it is integer. If it is ASCII, if it is text, in that case, this 34 will not be saved that way. In that case, this out of this 34, 3 will be taken as a character. And in ASCII, the value of this 51. Value of this 3 will be 51 in ASCII table, and this will be 52 in ASCII table. So there will be two numbers separately saved in their respective bytes as 51 and 52. But those 51 and 52 will be representing what? 3 and 4. So if I put ASCII of 3 over here, this will be 51. If I put character of 52, this will be 4. I hope that you got the idea. So what casting does, it converts one data type into other. We do not require to convert types like dates and boolean, but we like to convert only the strings and numbers into each other. Basically, conversion is required when you like to output integers with a string. So let's say age, we have got a variable age, which is, let's say age is equal to 20. I would like to concatenate that 20 with a string that my age is, and then that integer age. So if I put these two together, I would have trouble because computer will give me an error saying that integer cannot be merged with a string. So I would have to have this function, which is a string function. What it does, it takes one argument, which is either integer, currency, or a real number, and converts it into the string. So if I give it a integer number, it will give me the output of the same number, but this time this output will be string. So J has to be string. So any number that is given will be converted to string format and will be assigned to the variable appearing there. Value does inverse. Value does inverse. So what value does, if you give it a string number, it will extract that number as integer and assign it back. What if there are few characters as well in the string? So only the numbers which are before characters will be converted into integer or real or currency data type. So it actually depends how basically it gets converted to integer. If the k is integer, the output of this function will be integer. If k is real, the output of this function will be real. If the k is currency, then the output of this function will be currency. All right. And then we have got case. Case is basically if all of the characters in a string or only few of those characters in the string are not in uppercase, they will be turned into the uppercase. Okay, so this uppercase function, or sometimes it is just upper function or whatever, this function takes arguments in any case, and if they are already uppercase, it leaves them as uppercase. If they are in lowercase, every single letter of it will be converted to its uppercase form. Same goes with lowercase or lower, whatever the character that you give in a string. If they are in lowercase, they remain lowercase, but if they are in uppercase, they will become lowercase. The output will all be lowercase. Now the question comes, sir, what if we have got few special characters like at, hash, dollar, percentage sign, or spaces in it, or digits in it? In that case, whatever that is not letters, alphabet letters, will remain the same. So it only affects what? The alphabets. If the alphabets are in lowercase, they will remain in lowercase for the lowercase function, and for uppercase, all lowercase letters will be converted to uppercase. So that's about it for today. This was the introduction for string functions. From next class onwards, we will start practices for string functions in the program form, and we will look into few pseudocodes and respective related um, Visual Basic codes as well, so that we could see what is the output of those pseudocodes and how to use these functions in computer programs. And later we will also be solving past paper questions as we did for the data types. So that's about it. If there are any questions, please do ask those questions. Okay, so next Friday